5:40 a.m. The tow driver heard the engines first, a dozen Harleys rolling tight. They were coming for him. Eric Holloway finished tying down a Harley with no plates. He worked calmly, ignoring the roar behind him. 12 bikes fanned out, kicking up gravel. The lead bike killed its engine, and silence clamped down.
That is my brother's bike. You stole it. Drop it, or I will put you down right here.
Eric did not raise his hands. He did not step back. He just turned, slow, and faced them.
You deaf? I said drop it.
Inside the diner, a security camera blinked red. In a nearby truck cab, a dashcam auto-saved every frame. Behind Hawk, the road captain, Patrick, stood with his arms crossed, watching. He had not spoken yet.
Get on your knees and drop the bike.
CHP called it in. The bike was abandoned. No plates, blocking traffic. I loaded it per code.
I don't give a damn about that paper. You are gonna drop that bike right now.
Eric's shoulder barely shifted under the shove. He stayed planted, the printout still steady in his hand.
Enough, Hawk. Back off. Forget the dispatch. What's that chain around your neck? Lift that chain, slow, and don't play games with me.
Eric reached up without a word and pulled the chain free. 2 silver tags fell against the dusty navy coveralls, catching the sunrise. The lot went dead silent. Not one of the 12 men moved, and even Hawk's mouth hung open, his earlier rage forgotten. Patrick took off his sunglasses, his hand trembling. He stared at the stamped metal, and his jaw worked without any sound coming out. None of the angels understood why their road captain was frozen, but every one of them knew something had just shifted in that dusty lot. Holloway, Eric D. USN HM2 FMF USMC, Recon.
What the hell is that, Pat? It's a damn dog tag. We ain't got time for this. That bike is my brother's.
I said back off, Hawk.
Patrick shoved Hawk aside, his eyes locked on the tags. The other angels took a step back, their hands falling away from their belts. Not one of them had ever seen their road captain lose his nerve like this.
They don't know what I did. Keep it buried. I was a Navy corpsman. Marine Recon.
Dale, the trucker, watched through his dashcam. The red record light stayed steady. He'd never seen tension shift to confusion so quickly. Patrick's mouth opened, but he didn't speak. His hand trembled as he lowered his sunglasses, his eyes fixed on Eric Holloway. The morning light spread across the lot. The angels stood frozen in a loose circle, their anger gone, replaced by a thick, unknowing silence. Something had just shifted, and no one could name it. Patrick found his voice. It came out rough, almost reverent.
What unit were you with? Where?
2nd Marine Division. 2nd Recon Battalion. Forward deployed to Fallujah, 2007. I did 2 tours as a corpsman.
It was him. After all these years, right here on the asphalt.
Pat, you know this guy? What the hell is going on?
He remembers. Keep it buried. Don't say a word.
Patrick's eyes glistened. He lifted a hand, slow as if to reach for the tags, then let it fall back to his side. His jaw worked, but no sound came. The morning air felt thick, like glass about to shatter.
Captain, do we stand down or not?
We wait, and nobody speaks unless I say so.
Patrick didn't explain. He couldn't. Not yet. The dashcam kept rolling, capturing every frame. The trucks in the lot sat silent as tombstones. The dog tags, still bright against Eric's dusty coveralls, caught the climbing sun, and not a single angel moved. They just waited.
You getting soft, Pat? This man stole a bike and we're just standing here like fools.
Hawk lunged. Patrick's arm shot out, blocking him cold. The 2 angels nearly collided.
I said stand down, Hawk. This ain't about the bike anymore.
Wait, stop. That's my bike. I am the one who called CHP. I broke down on the highway. CHP called the tow. I didn't know you'd come.
You called CHP? Then why the hell didn't you tell us before we came out here?
Enough. Tommy, get your bike later. The rest of you, give us some room. You remember Fallujah, 2007? A convoy hit outside the city. A Humvee burning.
He remembers. The fire, the screaming, the man I dragged out.
The dashcam caught it all. Hawk's fury fading, Tommy's shame, and the road captain pulling Eric aside, his voice barely a whisper.
I remember the convoy. The Humvee was on its side, burning.
For a moment, Eric's mind flickered back. Black smoke, the crackle of small arms fire, and a man's weight across his shoulders.
There was a corpsman. He came out of nowhere, ignored the rounds, and dragged me clear.
I just did my job, sir. That's all.
Pat, I want to know what's happening. You owe us that much.
Not now, Hawk. I need you to trust me just a little longer.
Dale leaned forward in his cab, his mouth half open. The other angels stood frozen, their eyes moving between their captain and the quiet driver.
18 years. I never told a soul, not even my daughter.
I never forgot your face. The dog tags. None of us did.
The morning sun climbed higher, the tension shifting from violence to something none of them could name. Hawk's hands balled into fists, but he held still, waiting.
You want to explain, Pat, or do we just let this man walk?
He's right, Captain. We're losing face here.
You want an explanation? Then listen. All of you. 19 years ago in Fallujah, a convoy of Marines and a few angels got hit. A Humvee flipped and caught fire.
The murmuring died. Tommy's eyes went wide. Hawk's fists unclenched.
A corpsman crawled through the fire, bullets all around. He dragged 3 bikers out. I was one of them.
You never told us that, Captain.
Patrick's voice cracked. He looked toward Eric, but didn't speak his name. Not yet. The dashcam recorded every word. Angels who had been ready to fight stood frozen, their anger forgotten. The diner's lights flickered on inside, but nobody moved. The road captain's confession hung in the dusty air, like a held breath.
80 meters. He crawled 80 meters under fire, straight into the flames.
Patrick's voice cracked. The angels stood motionless, their earlier threats forgotten.
He dragged me out. Then he went back for the others. He saved 3 of us that day.
Hawk's fists finally unclenched. Tommy's hand rose to his mouth. The shift was visible on every face.
I've searched for that man for 18 years. I never thought I'd find him.
Patrick turned and faced Eric. The sun caught the dog tags still hanging against his chest.
That corpsman is standing right here. The man who saved my life. Eric Holloway.
Patrick took off his helmet and held it at his side. He didn't kneel, but the gesture carried more weight than any order.
Oh my God. It was him. The driver was the one who saved you.
The dashcam kept rolling, capturing every frame. The world outside the lot had vanished. Nothing dared to move. Patrick lowered himself, slow and deliberate, until one knee met the asphalt. The sound of leather on gravel cracked the silence.
After all these years, thank you.
Hawk stared. Then his legs buckled. He dropped to his knees as if a switch had been thrown. Tommy followed. Big Mike, one by one, all 12 knelt. On the dashcam screen, the frame filled with leather and bowed heads. Dale's hand shook as he reached for his phone. Inside the diner, the cook peeled back the curtain and froze. Eric stood alone at the center, the dog tags still glinting. He looked down at Patrick, and for the first time, the Marine's jaw tightened.
They're kneeling. For me.
Patrick raised his head. Tears cut trails through the dust on his cheeks.
I got it. I got the whole thing.
The dashcam kept recording. The sun climbed. None of them moved.
Get up, Captain. You don't have to kneel. Not after what we went through.
Patrick rose slowly and pulled Eric into a rough embrace, gripping him like a lost brother. Neither man spoke.
I was wrong, brother. Should have trusted Pat. I'm sorry. Nothing excuses what I almost did.
Thank you for saving our captain. We won't ever forget this morning.
The angels closed in, one by one, pressing their hands to Eric's shoulders, voices cracking with gratitude.
I am uploading this right now. The whole world needs to see what just happened.
The morning sun cleared the roofline, flooding the lot with warmth and long shadows.
We never forget. Holloway Towing has a friend for life. Every one of us.
The Harleys rumbled to life and rolled out of the lot, dust swirling in the early light. Eric stood alone by his truck, watching the dust settle. The dog tags caught the light. He didn't move for a long time. The Marine let the silence say everything. Dale uploaded the dashcam footage from his cab. Within 2 hours, it was on every local broadcast. Eric's office phone rang, then his cell. The messages piled up faster than he could delete them.
Holloway Towing? No, I am not doing interviews. I have a job to do.
His struggling one-man business was suddenly public knowledge. Every caller knew his name, his route, even his dog tags. The image of the kneeling angels spread across every channel. The dog tags became an overnight meme. The Marine they couldn't break.
They don't know what it cost. Let them have their video.
His daughter called, her voice cracking. He held the phone tight against his ear, the wall of silence he'd built starting to crumble.
I am fine, baby. No, they didn't lay a hand on me. It's a long story. I'll tell you everything soon.
She cried on the other end, proud and terrified. He had never told her about Fallujah. Now, the whole world knew before she did. Eric put the phone down and stared at the wall. The silence of the lot was gone, replaced by a world that suddenly wanted a piece of him. Patrick called an emergency session of the National Charity Arm. By morning, 12 senior angels were seated around a polished table.
You've all seen the footage. That driver saved my life and 2 other brothers. He runs a 1-truck operation that's barely keeping the lights on.
The vote was unanimous. They drafted a proposal for 9 trucks, 4 veteran drivers, and an annual escort on the 10th of November. 3 days later, 3 angels in suits and cuts pulled up at Holloway Towing. They carried a leather folder.
Eric, we need to talk. Can we come in?
Patrick, what's this about?
The club voted. We're not letting you go back to struggling alone.
The document outlined a full fleet expansion, funded entirely by the Angels' charity arm. No strings attached, except one condition. The drivers must be veterans.
They're offering me a way out, but can I take charity from a club?
Eric stared at the proposal. The decision was his alone. Eric sat at his kitchen table that night, the proposal open beside him. His father's old tow truck, Key, rested next to a grainy photo of his Marine unit.
You built this company from nothing, Pop. Can I let them give me a fleet?
His phone buzzed. Texts from veterans he'd helped over the years. Pictures of trucks he'd pulled out of ditches, kids he'd given free rides. They'd seen the video.
They're all rooting for me. Even the ones I never expected. Patrick, I've made up my mind. I'll accept the fleet, but on one condition. Every driver must be a veteran, and every the 10th of November, you ride with me. No exceptions.
Done. The club wouldn't have it any other way, Eric. You are family now.
Eric signed the agreement the next morning. The leather folder held the blueprint of 9 trucks, 4 veteran hires, and a promise written in ink. Patrick shook his hand, the grip of a man who owed his life. The dog tags caught the light above the desk. The expansion had begun. But Eric didn't smile yet. He just nodded. The Marine accepting a mission. Week by week, the fleet materialized. 9 Navy trucks stamped with Holloway Towing. The Angels' charity covered every detail.
You served. This job is yours. We don't leave anyone behind.
He hired 4 veterans, men and women with their own scars. He fitted them for coveralls himself.
Your service built this company. You understand the mission.
At a press conference, Eric stood beside Patrick. Both wore work clothes. No apology, just a handshake. Critics emerged fast. A rival called it a stunt. Club ties whispered. Eric never read the comments.
They can say whatever they want. I know who I am.
By early November, the 9 trucks lined up, exhaust pluming in the cold. The drivers stood in a quiet row. A small USMC emblem gleamed on each door, Eric's unspoken condition. These trucks were a promise, not charity. The escort was only days away. The Marine Corps birthday would test whether this bond could survive the public eye. A rival towing company filed a formal complaint. Unfair advantage, gang money. The local news ran the quote.
They don't know what they're talking about, but it still stings.
His daughter called. She didn't let him argue. Her voice came through the cab, fierce.
I won't, baby. I'll be fine.
Eric, all 12 are mustered. We'll be there at first light, Semper Fi.
Semper Fi. Drive safe.
He pulled on his navy coveralls, letting the dog tags fall outside the collar. He didn't tuck them in anymore. He slid into the lead truck. The engine turned over with a growl. The dash glowed in the pre-dawn dark.
Whatever comes, I've faced worse. Let them come.
The morning before the birthday, Eric Holloway sat in his truck, the dog tags out, the engine running. He was ready. Dawn broke cold. The rumble came first, a low roll that grew into 60 Harleys. Patrick led them into the Holloway lot. A banner stretched across the lead bikes. Marine Corps birthday ride. News choppers clattered overhead. The Angels fanned out behind Eric's truck. Engine growls filled the cold air. Cameras were already rolling.
They're really here. Whole world watching. Keep steady.
Holloway, towing. You have the lead. We're on your 6, Semper Fi.
Copy that, Patrick. Rolling out.
The convoy pulled out in tight formation. Harleys roared, and people on the sidewalks pulled out phones. Police cruisers gave a brief escort, lights strobing. The city had never seen anything like it. For the first time, the corner of Eric Holloway's mouth lifted. Not a smile, just a release. The Marine Corps birthday ride was no longer a plan. It was a roaring line of chrome and leather, cutting through Bakersfield. And Eric led the way. The convoy rolled into the Veterans Memorial Park, engines cutting one by one until only silence remained. Eric and Patrick walked side by side to the wall of names. Neither man spoke. Cameras circled like sentinels. That evening, a popular podcast released an interview with Patrick. His voice came through raw and unguarded.
The Humvee was burning. I was pinned. The corpsman came out of nowhere. Shrapnel was still coming down. He didn't flinch. He grabbed me and ran. Then he went back. Twice. 3 of us owe him our lives. He crawled 80 meters under fire. I still don't know how. I owe him everything. He never asked for a thing. Not in 19 years.
The clip tore across the internet again, adding flesh to the iconic dashcam image. For the first time, the world understood what those dog tags meant, and who Eric Holloway truly was. Eric sat alone in his office as Patrick's voice filled the room. He hadn't spoken of Fallujah in 20 years.
The Humvee. The fire. The weight of a man.
He closed his eyes, and for a moment, the desert dust mixed with the glow of his desk lamp. He hadn't let himself remember. Now the walls were cracking. His phone lit up. Messages from his drivers, from veterans he'd never met. The fleet was already being called the Holloway Honor Line.
They're calling me a hero. I just did my job.
The city of Bakersfield issued a proclamation. The 9 trucks were a promise, now etched in public record.
All those years I hid them. Now they're a symbol.
He didn't smile, but something loosened in his chest. The Marine finally let the silence speak. The dog tags stayed around his neck, catching the light. For the first time, Eric Holloway didn't tuck them away. A year later, the November morning rolled around again, cold and bright. The 9 Navy trucks lined up, the Holloway Honor Line ready. Eric stood at the memorial wall, his daughter at his side, his 4 drivers a quiet formation behind him. The growl of 60 Harleys rose, then softened as the Angels parked and walked over. No longer a threat, but a part of the family.
Eric, good to see you, brother.
Patrick, welcome back.
They shook hands, firm and familiar. No kneeling, just a nod between 2 men who had paid their debts. Behind them, a large screen played a loop of the dash cam footage. The kneeling Angels, the dog tags, the dawn that changed everything. His daughter touched his arm. She didn't speak, but her eyes said everything.
This is why I didn't tuck them away.
The Holloway Honor Line idled, waiting for the escort. The city had learned that respect could roar louder than any threat. That evening, Eric sat alone in his quiet house, the light low and golden through the blinds. He unfastened the chain and held the dog tags in his palm, the stamped letters catching the dim light.
My father said service never ends. He was right.
The same letters that had once been a secret were now a symbol of honor for a whole city. He looped the chain back over his neck and let the tags thump against his chest.
Right where they belong.
Outside, the distant rumble of a single motorcycle grew, then softened, a familiar sound that no longer meant danger. Eric didn't look out the window. He just nodded, once, to the quiet room. The dog tags rose and fell with his breath, steady as the man who wore them. In the stillness, the Marine finally let himself rest. The tow company still runs. Every the 10th of November, the engines gather. In the company lobby, a shadow box holds the original dog tags Eric wore that morning. Next to them, a framed photograph of 12 Angels on their knees. The dash cam clip that captured it all is archived in the Library of Congress. A document of American honor, a record of the day respect bowed before violence and won. The Holloway Honor Line still runs. The November rides have never stopped. Every year, the Harleys roll out, and the man who once hid his tags now leads them. The dog tags stayed. The silence broke, and the Marine who never spoke of Fallujah finally let the world see. He was just doing his job. But to 12 men on their knees, he was more. His truck rolled down the dusty Bakersfield Road, the dog tags swaying from the rearview mirror, tapping a quiet rhythm. He didn't need to look at them anymore. He just knew they were there, a weight that had become a comfort. The license plate, pressed into the dusty bumper, read HM24 Ever, a quiet promise to the man he had been. The desert stretched ahead, the sun spilling gold across the asphalt. It was the same road he had been on a year ago. His hands rested on the wheel, steady as they had been that morning outside the diner. The dog tags ticked against the mirror with every bump, a gentle reminder of what he carried. He didn't smile. He just drove, the Marine once again on a mission. In the rear view, the memorial park faded, but the names on the wall remained etched into the morning. The road rolled on beneath the wide sky just as it always would. He was just doing his job, but to 12 men on their knees, he was everything.